Hello and welcome to this Friday weekly webinar series. Today to talk about concept of Yogasana and its difference from physical exercise, we have with us Dr. Soni Kumari ma'am, who is professor of S. Vyasa University, Bengaluru. I heartily welcome you ma'am. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. We also have with us Director of Rajya Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. I.V. Baswa Reddy sir. I heartily welcome you sir. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
Vandana.
We also have with us Mohammad Tayyib Alam sir, who is Communication and Documentation Officer of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है sir.
Thank you.
Now, without any further delay, let us start the program with prayer. Om Sehna Tu Sehno Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now I would like to request Mohammad Tayyib Alam sir to deliver introductory remarks. Sir.
Welcome and introductory. Okay. Welcome, introduction of the guest. Okay, Chali.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to introduce today's esteemed guest, respected Dr. Soni Kumari ma'am. Dr. Soni Kumari ma'am is working as a professor at S. Vyasa, deemed to be University Bengaluru. She is also the Dean of Academics in charge at S. Vyasa. She has also served as Controller of Examinations. She is having 15 years of teaching experience in the field of yoga and published more than 40 papers in national and international index journal and presented papers in national and international conferences, seminars, and workshops. She is also guiding PG and PhD student. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation in a very short period of time for the Aminoize Friday webinar. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite respected Dr. Iswar V. Basavaredi sir, Director of Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, to say a few words for today's topic on concept of Yogasana and its difference from physical exercise. Sir.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Respected esteemed speaker of today's Friday webinar, Dr. Soni Kumari ji, Professor F. Vyasa, a deemed to be University Bengaluru. My colleagues in the institute, Sri Tayab ji, Dr. Vandana, and other technical staff, my faculty members, student friends, and yoga enthusiasts joining this webinar through various social media platforms across the globe. My pranams to all. Namaste. At the outset, it's my proud privilege to welcome once again Dr. Sonu Kumariji. She's a very eminent professor, and also, as said by my colleague, she worked as a Dean of Academics and also Control of Examinations, and having a vast experience in the field of yoga and academics. I welcome you, madam. Today topic is a very interesting topic, in my opinion, because of two reasons. One is the world yoga recognize yoga as Yogasana majority of the population, world population, understand yoga means yogasana. So that much of familiarity the yogasana has in the entire framework of yoga practices. The second one is in the recent past, last year, and Government of India has declared yogasana as a competitive sport. One component of yoga as a competitive sport. Therefore, this topic where we bring forward the importance of yogasana in yoga and also in the sport of yogasana is different from the different sport and also physical exercises. Therefore, the today's topic, the concept of yogasana and the difference from physical exercises is very, very relevant. I would like to say three important factors. When you see the word yoga, if you go to the street, it's basically for the spiritual evolution or quest, the inherent quest in every human being to understand the true nature of himself or herself and the entire nature of this world. That is inherent. Therefore, so the ancient sages and rishis dwell and try to understand the true nature of himself or herself or this entire universe. Therefore, they devised yoga. The technology they developed is yoga. So there are several methods and means. The ancient method is to go beyond the physical frame, the mental frame, the senses, the intellect. So therefore, infinite can be understood by the infinite. This is the first. The second one is, so mind plays an important role, connecting role between the extreme or fact and truth, what we call absolute truth, or then the material world. Therefore, to understand this body, channelize this body, they find out the methods to form some postures so that the energy can be channelized, connect to the mind, mind to the others. Therefore, in the Patanjali, he has mentioned only the nature of asana, which asana is appropriate to meditate, because emphasis was made on the the uh, moral principles. So he is not be permitted to do yoga unless he follows certain prerequisites called yama niyamas. So once we do that, there is no need of the so-called difficult postures to go for the higher aspects. So therefore, asanas when they have been devised, so in the earlier stage, I am telling the more than 3,000 years before and around 2,000 years, the Patanjali period or Buddha even, Arya Stangika Marga, they proposed, even in the Jainism during those around 2nd century, 3rd century, 4th century BC, we have a references of some of the asanas, but not the names of asanas, the characteristics. Later on in the Tantra, in Agama Shastra and Tantra, we get the number of asanas. Text has been come up later on in the 6th, 8th, and 12th centuries AD. Various Hatha Yoga texts emphasize particularly up to the 19th century. Till today, they are evolving. Thousands of body postures has come up. See the evolution. So, but in the 20th century, the yoga masters going abroad, so started modifying, developing some postures to reach out, the meet out their fitness formalities or fitness protocols of the West. And many times you can see in the, I don't name, they do some jumping, jerking while doing the asanas also, which is not according to the principles of yoga, as mentioned, envisaged in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Why I had given this much of discussion? Yogasana has a long history. Now, in the present format, many people we practice, and even the very eminent yoga masters are teaching them as an exercise mode. There, it is good for body, but the very purpose of yoga to begin with is mind-centric practice. If you want to convert yogasana as a mind-centric practice, you have to follow the principles envisaged in the traditional yoga sutras so that it can be. Therefore, they are very aptly chosen by Professor Soni Kumari to difference between the physical exercises and yogasana, how yogasana will lead to the higher dimension. Now, to conclude, there are many health benefits. Though we do it in a physical formats, also there we have a health benefits because it's a physical activity. So my urge is when we are getting the better results and more profit and go opt for it. Why you confined to only fitness, physical fitness? Go for the higher aspects and get the benefit in the same time by following the proper principles. Therefore, the Sunu Kumari Madam will elaborate upon the misconceptions and differences between physical mode and yogasana and what are the principles of proper yogasana. And it's very going to be very popular talk, and I am happy to inform to the speaker that Madam, our these videos will be there in our YouTube for a long time. Then we bring out the abstract of the paper in a printed form, and this more than 1 year, they continuously were conducting this Friday webinar by eminent professors, and they are very popular and widely accepted by the yoga professionals. So with these few words, I do hope that again this lecture by Sunu Kumarji is going to be enrich the knowledge and leads for the better skill management in the practice of yogasana. Thank you one and all. I welcome now Professor Sonu Kumarji to address the topic. Professor Sonu Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much to everyone and all the audience, especially to the Dr. Ishwar Bhardwaji for giving me an opportunity to speak in front of from the MDNY's platform, and also to Taib Alam sir, Dr. Vandana Singh, and all the organizers, those who have given me opportunity to speak on this topic. Thank you. Thank you to the organizers. So today's topic, as sir has already explained in detail, what is yogasana and the differences between other physical exercises and yogasana. So I'm going to brief. I'm going to just talk around 25 to 40 minutes on the topic. I think my slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So today's topic, the concept of yogasanas and the differences between yogasana and other physical exercises. So what happens when we talk the yogasanas, the term yoga and asanas? This is the third limb of Patanjali, the Ashtanga Yoga, described by Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Maharshi Patanjali. The asana is the third limb, the third step of Raj Yoga, Yama, Niyama, and Asana. And when we go to the word, the definition of yoga, the very in layman language, if we define the yoga, yoga says yoga is nothing, is a union between individual consciousness with the supreme consciousness. Yujyate anin iti yoga. And in this context, the asana has been described as use the body to gain the health and mastery the mind and master the mind. As we have heard from the sir, that he was saying that body mind both are very much connected. So we try to control the mind using different postures which are known as yogasanas as a third limb of Ashtanga yoga. So the key of yogasana is to stretch and relax all groups of muscles together and individually. When we say stretch and relax, it is something like it is a combination when we perform any physical posture, any yogasana, suppose Shashankasana, Ardhakati Chakrasana, Ardhustrasana, everywhere we have two things combined in any posture which are stretching and relaxing. So first we stimulate the body and then we try to relax the body. And this can be done together using all groups of muscles together or individually focusing on different parts of the body. As I said, the yogasana is of course is also known or very well known in terms of the third limbs of Raj Yoga. So what is the concept of asana? What we mean by concept of asana is very well defined in by Maharshi Patanjali in Patanjali Yoga Sutra in chapter 2 of 46 verse. He says that sthiram sukham asanam. Most of us, we have misunderstood, we have misconception about asanas. We feel that as much as we can bend our body forcefully, we ourselves we can call, we are a yoga masters. But this is a wrong conception. Wrongly we have understood the concept of asana. The Maharshi Patanjali has rightly said, the sthiram sukham asanam. Sthira, steady. Sukham, comfortable. Asanam is a posture. So any posture, either it is a difficult or very simple posture, even if it is Sashankasana, Savasana or anything, or Padmasana, any sitting meditative posture also, everywhere we have to maintain the sthira, sukha and asanam. Then only it is called asanam. The posture which is steady and comfortable is only known as asanam. Here nowhere we have discussed about where we have to forcefully, we have to exaggerate our body, we have to repeatedly, we have to just, there's no competition kind of thing. It is something based on our limitation, based on our capacity, based on our flexibility, stamina, we need to perform certain postures. So sthira, the stability, the steadiness is very important. Then next comes sukham, very peacefully, with full comfort. And then that kind of posture is known as asana. Now, when we say, as yogasana has been classified from different schools of yoga, from different institutions of yoga in different manner. The gist of everything is same, but it has been classified in different ways by different institute. When we say that somewhere would have seen that yogasana has been classified under 4 categories, which are standing, sitting, prone, and supine. The other way to classify it has been also classified under 3 major categories, which are relaxation, meditative, and cultural. So things are one and the same, but only thing we have classified, categorized the different postures under different headings. Standing, sitting, prone, and supine. like prone and supine, whatever postures we perform in lying down on back side, and prone, what we do, lying from the stomach side, sitting, standing. When we talk about the different, the other way of classifying the asana, which are relaxation, the different relaxative postures like we say that Sasankasana and many more, even Shavasana, these things comes under relaxation postures. Meditative postures like Padmasana, Sukhasana, where we try to meditate in that sitting posture, this comes under meditative postures. And the cultural asanas includes prawn, supine, and other types of side bending and standing postures. So this is just a classification to differentiate between different postures of body, but the purpose, the body can be bent from all the sides, and there are different postures by which we use the different types of muscles and different parts of the body to stretch and relax our whole body. Now, as we saw in the beginning, that Sthiram Sukham Asana, the Yoga Asana, the stages, like how we have to start the asana in the beginning stage, and then how we can move, how we can progress further in the same line. So in this regard, the Sthira and then Chira, steadiness, stable, Sukha and blissfulness, and then finally we go for relaxation, the finally tuned to infinity. So what happens in the beginning stage when we start the practice of asana? In the first few days, we require certain things to follow in our day-to-day life. As sir was mentioning that asana cannot be performed immediately without guidance of guru, and also having the certain principles which we need to follow, certain rules and regulations are there. The yamas and niyamas are the base to go for third step, which is asana. Without following certain yamas and niyamas in our day-to-day life, in our lifestyle, until unless we inculcate those principles in our life, the third step will be not able to achieve, will be not able to progress towards that. So in that connection, it says the stability, the steadiness, the experience of effortlessness, and the blissfulness, relaxation, these things, Sthiram Sukham Asanam, these things, Prayatna Saitilya Ananta Samapattibhyam, that can be only felt by the practice of asana. That also continuously, if you keep doing the same practice over a period without any discontinuity, with total dedication, devotion, and faith into the practice, then only you can see the changes in your physical body, and slowly it will also affect and enhance your mental abilities. So it says that Abhyasa Vairagya Tannirodha, and then Nairantarya Satkara Sevito Dridha Bhumi. When we say, even in the terms like practicing yogasana or any form of yoga practices, we require regularity. There should not be any missing. It's not like that one day we have started today, we'll give 2 days gap, and third day again we'll continue. Then we can't see the changes. We cannot make out the effect of practice. And there should be total dedication, devotion. You should have feeling of surrender or faith. Whatever you do, you should have the total faith in the practice so that you will get the total benefit out of it. So sthirta, stability, and the chira, steadiness, sukha, effortlessness, and finally you can maintain the posture without any discomfort, effortlessly, and the purpose of everything, the tune to infinity. The definition of yoga itself says, by practicing yogasana itself, you can lead to the, you can merge yourself with the supreme consciousness. You can choose any one limb, and out of 8 limbs, any one, even yogasana practice can also progress, or it can lead to you towards moksha, or maybe the towards liberation. It is not so easy to do, but it has you can achieve that state if you have the total faith and if you keep practicing it with following all the rules and regulations, all the do's and don'ts. And of course, in the beginning you have to have certain basics, yamas and niyamas need to follow in your life. When we say like yamas and niyamas, basically the saucha, and then if we say that सत्य अहिंसा स्थे brahmacharya aparigrah shauch santosh tapas swadhyaya ishwar pranidhan. So these are the thing why Raj Yoga, why Ashtanga Yoga has started not from asana, why it has started from yamas and niyamas, because it provides, it gives the pathway for further progress in life. We can't start from pranayama or asana suddenly until unless we have the basis or we have the firmness, the basic understanding and basic principles which need to be followed by each and every individual to progress in the path of yoga. So yogasana can be performed, yogasana can be done perfectly, can be benefited to individual if it is done under the guidance of guru, following all the principles of yamas and niyamas. The next, what happens when we perform yogasanas? What is the extraordinary in yogasana? What is not in other exercises, which we'll be seeing in next slide. But what happens finally, the purpose of yogasana is why it is unique and how come it is different from other form of physical exercises. See, the yogasana, as we say, slowly, we have to perform any practice not with the jerk, not with the force, as much as we can. When any instructor, when they start giving the instruction of yoga practices, they always say slowly and gently release your posture, slowly and gently uh, go to the final position. Nowhere we talk about the jerk, the forcefulness of your body, and nowhere we talked about that how fast we can reach to the final stage, how fast we have to release the final stage. No. So slowness, slowly we have to perform the practice and slowly we need to release the practice. And once we are firm into the practice, once we have understood the practice, the stages of practice, then slowly we can move towards maintenance of the same practice for a longer time. Longer time maintenance, suppose the same practice when we perform Ardha Matsyendrasana or Ardha Kati Chakrasana or any practice. In the beginning stage, a practitioner can start performing in the beginning stage, first few days, maybe 10-20 days, he can learn the practice perfectly and slowly he can try to maintain the same posture for a longer time. Maybe for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, depending upon the flexibility, depending upon his or her convenience. So the purpose of yogasana is not to just body bending, not to bend the body anyway, whichever way you feel, and just release the posture. No. Slowness is very important, and the maintenance of same posture for a long time, that is also very, very important. And it is only and only possible when we have the regular practice, when we are regular into the practice, when we have when we have the dedication towards the practice, when we have the faith towards the practice, and then when we are not like we have total belief on whatever we perform on day-to-day life. So over a period, you can see there are so many changes will take place in your physical body, and that physical body changes will also lead to the changes, it will bring the changes in your mental level. So the like muscular, respiratory, gastrointestinal, endocrine, nervous system, brain, mind, and so many, all the systems of your body, the different systems of your body, and finally it will affect your mind. It will improve your all the mental abilities like memory, attention, perception, etc. So it has direct connection with the mental ability enhancement. So body and mind, all of us, we know very well, it is very much connected. So it brings the total synchronization, total harmony between different systems of body, and it also affects our mind. It improves our mental functions. Now, there are two schools of yoga broadly. The first school of yoga is known as Hatha School of Yoga, and the second one is Vasishtha School of Yoga. So Hatha School of Yoga, basically the objective of both the school is one and the same, but the way we perform the practice, there's a slight difference between these two. So in Hatha School of Yoga, we try to emphasize more on dynamic asanas. Somewhere we also try to do the practice forcefully, the repetition of the same practice, number of rounds, more number of rounds with the speed and jerk. Whereas in Vasishtha School of Yoga, Patanjali School of Yoga, the relaxing asanas, where we try to give more emphasis on stretch and relax with slowness and maintenance of the same posture for a long time. Here we don't go for the maintenance of the posture in the beginning stage. Over a period, after a few days or after a year's practice, then only we try to maintain certain postures, which is quite difficult, but we can move, we can progress towards that. So the objective of both the schools have the same objective. The overall objective of both the schools or Yogasana is the physical personality development, the mastery over the mind, and the move towards selflessness and promotion of positive health and bliss. When we keep practicing, when we are regular into the practice, when we are very if we are a good yoga practitioner, yogasana practitioner, then what happens? The physical personality, of course, will be able to build up at when we say panchakosha concept at annamaya level, annamaya kosha level, and then slowly it will also bring the mastery over the mind, and bringing over the mastery over the mind, then slowly we'll move towards selflessness. This is at mental level, of course, and promotion of positive health and bliss. So if your body is fit, if your mind is fit, if you are able to maintain, or if you are very regular in your practice with slowness, with comfortness, with steadiness, and with maintenance of the posture, you can make out the changes even within 1 month, before and after. You can see the changes, promotion of positive health and bliss. You will be not affected by the outside world, or with silly, you will not get, affected immediately. You will be able to maintain the peace of your body and mind. So promotion of positive health, you will be able to overcome from all the NCDs, from all the psychosomatic and somatostatic problems. So it also gives the holistic approach or holistic development of complete health. It provides a total health or positive health overall. So all organs and systems in the body work in harmony. So of course we have seen in previous slides. So it brings the harmony between among different systems of body. Each and every systems are well synchronized, well harmonized, and then you can bring the balance, and there'll be no side effect, or there'll be no any health hazards will take place. You will be able to control your body fully. You will be able to overcome from all the diseases. Now, ideal healthy body. The benefits of yogasana, it also provides an ideal healthy body. Tranquility of mind and clarity of thoughts, because mind and body are very much closely connected. If you are able to control your body, obviously your mind will be controlled. You will be not having any doubt or confusion. You will be totally clear in your thought process. It also provides the balance and harmonious growth of overall body. Highly flexible and elastic musculature. Very important. When we say any sports person or any athletics or anybody, in everywhere we have this, the asana practices plays an important role, because it, if you keep practicing the asana, it will elevate, it will increase the flexibility of your body and also the elasticity of your muscles. And finally, it provides a good strength and agility. All organs and systems in the body will work in harmony to provide deep rest. Deep rest term is when one side we are talking about performing the practices, the other side we are talking about deep rest. Sthiram Sukham Asanam. Even while performing the practice also, even maintaining the final posture also, we have to have we can feel the sense of deep rest. That is only possible when you do the practice continuously. Abhyasa Vairagya Nairantarya Satkara Sevito Drutta Bhumi. So Sthiram Sukham Asanam. All this time when we say the Patanjali Yoga Sutra has defined these slokas, or these are the verses when in context of Yogasana or any other practices, it says that when you really do the practice with total faith and dedication, you will make out the changes, your organs and systems will work in very harmony, and you will feel while performing practices also you will be providing the deep rest to your whole body. In the background of deep relaxation, the nervous system and the body gets normalized. Now we'll be going through the differences between Yogasana and physical exercises. So, what are the differences between Yogasana and physical exercises? There are a number of differences between Yogasana and physical exercises. When we say Yogasana and physical exercises, asana is something where we have the main three things there are three components of asana which are missing in other form of physical exercises, which are the relaxation component, the breath awareness component, and the counter pose of practice. So these are the three things when we say that the breath awareness is very important. It plays an important role in performing any asanas. In the beginning stage of asana, we try to perform the asana with normal breathing. But when we progress towards the practice, we try to add the breathing pattern. We try to emphasize on inhalation and exhalation process. So, which is totally missing in any other form of physical exercises. When you go for gym, when you go for aerobic, when you go for any other form of physical exercises, no one talks about the breath awareness. Breathing pattern is not at all included in other form of physical exercises. Whereas when we talk about yogasana, breath awareness plays an important role. The second one is we have this awareness of whole body. The awareness of whole body is not there when we talk about any other form of physical exercise. We just try to perform the physical postures without focusing on changes what all happening in your body. So the body awareness, the awareness of whole body, the self-awareness is missing in other form of physical postures. And this is a very important component of yogasana because yoga starts with awareness only, and especially when we perform the practice of yogasana, we always try to include in our instruction when we try to give the practice to practitioner, become aware about the changes what all it is happening in your body. Be aware, be alert, try to focus, try to feel. So awareness plays an important role. The awareness, the changes what all it is happening in your body, the self awareness, the body awareness. The third one is in yogasana we have the component of relaxation as well as stimulation, two things together. We also try to relax our body, after each and every practice, we give certain gap and we try to relax our body, and then we go for next round of the same practice or new practice. Whereas in other physical postures, we don't have the concept of relaxation in between the practice, in between the postures. It just continuously we keep doing. So in the process of practicing, we try to exhaust our body, we try to burn our energy. Whereas in yoga, we try to gain the energy. We try to reserve the energy. Whereas in other physical postures, we try to spend the energy. And the very important one more component which is missing in other form of physical exercise, which is included in Yogasana, this is counter pose. Counter pose is very important, plays an important role when we talk about Yogasana. Take an example when we do Shashankasana, the forward bending posture. The complementary, the counter pose of the Shashankasana will be Ardha Ustrasana or Purnostrasana. We always, we everywhere, whenever we perform any yogasana, any yoga posture, we do have the complementary for each practice. Without complementary, we don't go for next practice. So complementary plays an important role. It tries to bring the balance, it tries to bring the harmony between different systems of body. Whereas in other physical postures, we don't have the concept, we don't deal with the counter pose. No contradiction, there's no counter pose, and there's no, like, if we go for forward bending, there's no backward bending kind of postures. When we perform yogasana, we do have the sympathetic nervous system. We try to, the parasympathetic nervous system arousal takes place. But when we perform other form of physical exercises, there we do have the sympathetic nervous system arousal. So what happens, we are unable to control the somewhere the tension, the stress what we carry during the practice of any physical postures. But when we talk about yogasana, while performing the yogasana, we try to do it slowly, smoothly, effortlessly, and then we try to maintain the posture without any discomfort. That without any discomfort, that finally leads to the arousal of parasympathetic nervous system. There are many more differences between yogasana and physical postures. Some slides are missing. Like when we say that differences between that, we try to, of course, as I said, that energy gain, energy spent, and then control over body and mind. We don't have any control when we talk about other physical form of exercises. There's no connectivity between body and mind. Then we have we are able to manage the level of stress, we are able to control the level of stress when we do the practice of yogasana sincerely with total dedication. In other form of physical exercises, we do not have any control, there's no connectivity between body and mind. Then we also have that everywhere we do have the contraindications, the limitations, who can do, who can't do. So we have limitations given for each and every postures in yogasana practice. Whatever we perform, we have contraindications, the limitations are well prescribed in each yogic text, who should do, who should not do. Whereas in other physical exercises, in detail, nowhere we discuss about this, because the purpose of other physical exercises are only to reduce the weight, make the body maybe the good body build, and then not more than that. We just try to spend our energy to reduce the weight and try to bicep muscles and all that to build, and then just to the beautiness of body. That's it. We don't focus on any other thing more than this. Whereas in yogasana practice, the purpose of yogasana is not to only gain or maybe gain the energy, control the mind. It provides you the overall personality development in one or other sense by controlling your mind and body together. So Yogasana mainly, it has three major component, and the differentiation, if you try to differentiate from the other form of physical exercises, the breath awareness, the self awareness, and the body awareness, and the the counter pose, and many more. But basically these three things plays an important role when we try to differentiate yogasanas with the other form of physical exercises. Now, if we have to conclude, or if we have to say the gist of today's talk, what are the concepts of yogasana and how it is benefited and how come it is different from other form of physical exercises? To maintain a ideal healthy body and to maintain a good health, everyone should go for practice of yogasana in their day-to-day life, at least for half an hour or 1 hour per day. And the preferable time is the morning hour before, of course, breakfast. And also very important to remember that when we talk about yogasana practice, here it is not, we have to have the continuity, regularity in the practice, then only you can make out the, you can feel the, you can make out the changes, you will get the benefit out of it. Otherwise, what happens, most of us in the beginning few days we'll be very enthusiastic to do the practice, and then we'll give 1 week or 10 days gap, and again we'll restart. So what happens, you will not make any, there'll be no outcome, there'll be no benefit, you'll be having side effect of it. Maybe in the first few days when you start practicing, you will feel like thigh pain, or somewhere in other parts of the body you will start getting pain. But if you are regular into the practice, you will feel that you are able to overcome from all these, and then you are able to maintain a good health, a sound health, and which really helps you to build your personality, and especially it contributes to your overall well-being, and it also controls your mind. If your body is fit, if your body is healthy, obviously it will help you to maintain a peaceful or happy mind also. The second thing, what we were saying, that there are certain things which we need to follow, inculcate in our day-to-day life regarding diet. Of course, in Bhagavad Gita, we have talked about Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic diet. Even in Hatha Yoga, it has been discussed in detail what kind of place you should choose for practicing yoga, what are the antarayas, what are the difficulties, hurdles when you practice yoga, what are the difficult, how you have to overcome. And even in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, everything keeping in mind, we have to, at least whatever is possible, we should try to follow in our day-to-day life. And very, very important thing, we have to have the concept of yamas and niyamas well understood before we go to the third step of Raj Yoga, which is Yogasana. As I said that in the beginning only, the first verse of Patanjali Yoga Sutra says Atha Yoga Anusashanam. Then only the next verse says Yoga Chittavritti Nirodha. So discipline is very important even when we talk about yoga. So everything is bounded by discipline. Without the discipline in your life, you can't perform even yogasana practice. You will not get benefit out of, even if you have performed 10 years together. But without focusing on these principles and the rules and regulations which needs to be maintained and followed by every individual, you will not get benefit out of it. So the yogasana, even for performing asana, we have to have discipline in our life. The quality of sleep, the quality of food, and the quality of the how we have to behave, how we have to deal in work or behave in society, how we have to interact with others. Everything has been well defined in different yogic, especially in Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga, Gyan Samhita, everywhere. Even the asana, the partially there's some slight difference between different texts. Somewhere the postures are less or more, but the purpose of each and every text or all the yoga institutions are one and the same. So overall, the Yogasana plays an important role in maintaining a healthy and happy life of an individual. And of course, still today people have misconception about Yogasana. In most of the countries, even in India, also in different states, they feel as best as you can bend your body, you are a good yoga master, and you are a like you have like you are excellent in the yoga practice. So body bending, as we have discussed, we saw what are the differences between other form of physical exercise in yogasana. So body bending can be done in any form, but yogasana is not like other kind of physical exercises. It has really it has lot of differences between these two. And when you say yogasana, it has to be done with the slowness, with the total peace of mind, effortlessly, continuously, regularity, and then only you can tune yourself with the infinity, with total relaxation. We have seen that what is yogasana. In there we have discussed all this, and then of course the people also misunderstood that yogasana is something like we keep doing okay for 1 month 2 months. If we do our okay, the weight will be reduced, I'll become trim slim, and then that is only yogasana. No, maybe you will get the benefit out of doing other form of physical exercises also, but not like yogasana, because it gives you a long term effect will be seen when you practice yogasana in a proper manner under the guidance of guru or teacher. Very very important. It will give you a longevity of your of course the we have seen the benefits of you performing yogasana. It will increase your lifespan, as well as it will also help you in many ways, many ways. So overall, the purpose of performing yogasana, the concept of yogasana, the benefit of asana, the different schools of asana, and how we should perform the asanas, the classification of different yogasanas, and how it is different from other form of physical exercises. We have a shortage of time, but many things are there, many concepts are there, and it plays an important role in each and everybody's life. Recently, we have still we were like expecting third wave, the COVID. More than 1.5 year, approximately 2 years. Everyone has struggled hard, not in India, globally. Everyone has suffered, and there was no other solution, no way out to overcome from this. Still today, we are in fear. We don't know next day what happens. Some or other day you'll be hearing that this variant, that variant is going to come this country, that still. So what we should do at this stage, at least being a yoga, or maybe being an Indian citizenship, or the yoga has emerged from the India, we should at least try, we should start practicing yogas now on regular basis, at least for half an hour, if not 1 hour. And then of course it will help us to overcome from all these challenges of life, all the NCDs and all the psychosomatic or somatocytic trauma and diseases which we come across in our day-to-day life, the stress, which is the root cause of all the problems. So thank you so much. धन्यवाद. I would like to conclude my session here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this intriguing session. As our comment section is filled with praises and questions as well. So, can we take 2 or 3 questions?
Yes, madam, it was very good. Thank you very much. Okay, continue.
Ma'am, what are the main categories of Yogasana?
Yeah. What are the main categories of asana? As I explained, there are four. Actually, we can also classify. There are two ways to classify the asanas: the meditative, cultural, and then relaxation asanas. And the other way to define it or classify it: prawn, supine, standing, and yeah, sitting posture. Yeah.
Ma'am, somebody has commented that can we say that yoga is more holistic than exercise?
Yoga is more?
Holistic. It
Yes.
covers physical,
Yeah, yeah.
mental.
Yoga is more holistic than exercise. As I've already discussed and explained in detail how it is different from other form of physical exercise, because the awareness component, the breath component, and the complementary component, and the energy gain, energy expenditure. See, everything, even in yogasana, we take care of these things. Whereas in other form of physical exercise, we only try to focus on physical body fitness, not more than any not any other thing. So it has really, it provides a holistic approach overall growth of a personality. Doesn't talk only about how the physical fitness can be built. It also tries to connect your body with the mind. So it has real benefit, and it is something totally different from other form of physical exercises.
Ma'am, last question. Somebody has asked, how can we differentiate between yoga and physical exercise on different organ performance?
Yeah, very good question. See, the different organ, okay. Suppose, take an example, when we do the practice, taken in, okay, when we perform certain practice or posture, maybe the Shashankasana or Ardhoshtrasana or Padhastasana, take an example. So, Padhastasana is standing posture when we perform. Then what happens, we try to bend our body from waist region, we try to touch our palm to the ground, we try to touch our nose to the knees. So what happens when the same practice, when you do, when if you have included in form of physical exercise, the instruction will be something like that. You just in a second, you try to just touch your nose to the knees and you try to come out. And the organs, we never ever talked about that, what changes, what are the physical changes, what are the body level changes are taking place, where you feel the stretch, where you feel the relaxation, which part of the muscles are getting stretched, which part of the muscles are getting relaxed. So therefore, we talked about the contraindicate, the counter pose and the relaxation part, which is very not at all included in the other form of physical exercises. So here we try to stimulate our certain organs of the body, and then we try to relax it also, and we also do the complementary postures for each and every practice.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and delivering such an informative and intriguing lecture. Thank you so much. On behalf of our DNIY family, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to MDYMS for giving me an opportunity. I'm sorry, some slight problem was there. I could not project. I just some differences between. I was not able to see. Then it was there. Suddenly it happens. The technical thing. Yeah, but thank you so much, sir, Dr. Iswar sir, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Vandana ji, and thank you to all the technical assistant.
I would also like to thank Director of Murari Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. I.V. Baswa Reddy sir, for taking out time from his busy schedule and being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I would also like to thank our Communication and Documentation Officer, Mohammad Tayyab Alam sir, and our technical team for their help and support. Thank you so much, sir. And thanks
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
for
sir.
joining us today. Now let us end the program with Shanti Part. Oh. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, sir. Namaste to everyone. Thank you.